United States. We are going to use the Distress Oxides on this one, and I also use the Ranger Archival ink. So I'm going to pretend there's somebody watching who's never done any stamping. Archivals are permanent inks, they're water resistant. They won't move if I put water on them or I paint them with watercolour. That's worth knowing. The Distress Oxides, they react to water. They're really lovely. Okay?
Yeah.
So they're dye-based, they're water-based, they react. So now we've got it. We've got the stencil card, we've got the Clarity stamps, and we've got the Ranger products. I don't get paid extra by Ranger to say that. I'm not an indoor. I just
They're like a household name though, aren't they, in craft?
They're beautiful ink pads.
This would be my choice, 100%.
Yeah, they just work very well for me. And I'm sure there are others brands that are great, but I've always, for 30 years, we're celebrating 30 years of being in business, and I've worked with Ranger for 30 years.
There you go, yeah.
Okay, so let's just take this ink pad, and you'll see here on the front, I explained this, 7.2, that means that's the July, the second ink pad I've cracked open.
Oh, so
yeah. So I know it's varying, see, 7.3, brand new. I cracked that one open today, I haven't used it yet.
Oh, so you're on your third ink pad of this month?
I do it for a living,
I love that. That's a good ink. I love it.
Yeah, there you go. What was that one?
You're joking.
No. But the thing is, depending on
what numbers Paul up to, I wonder.
It depends what stamp you're using, you see.
Yeah.
If I'm using, I want a dry ink, I want a wet ink, I want a moderately dry ink, you know.
Sure.
If you do it for a living, you understand. So I've inked that up. I'm going to centre with my... I've put the stamps, they come unmounted. I've mounted it on, we call these 4x4 inch mega mounts, you see?
Yeah.
They're like, they're lovely, they're really thin, and they work really well. Anyway, I better concentrate on what I'm doing.
No, well, good. It's good to have a refresh, isn't it? Because you can forget.
Right, if you've got a stamping platform, then these three-way overlays are a dream, aren't they?
Yeah,
what I'm doing there is I'm just burnishing the back, so I want to make sure I've got the whole thing. There you go, perfect image. So we've got that one now, and we know that is stamp number 1. Okay, so we'll put that one to one side. Now let's look for stamp number 2. Stamp number 2 is the stamp that would colour in all the outside bits. Do you see? So that's the next one that we're going to look at. So we don't need the black anymore now. It works really nicely on its own as well, so we can decide. So let's have a look. If I take a bit of yellow, I've got stamp number 2 now. I'll put a bit of yellow on there, Now I'm using Distress Oxide, so I've got mustard seed going. Let's take a bit of broken china. Let's add a little bit of broken china there. Right, that'll do. Then enter our, I'm going to use some spot-on sponges.
Oh.
So spot-on sponges, they are...
Here. Oh, they're here.
They are really ideal for blending ink, okay? So I'm going to take one of my spot-on sponges. You get 4 packs of them.
Yeah.
When you buy them at Create and Craft.
For that happy day. So there you go. You get all of those. So 64 sponges there. So yeah, 1, 8, 8, 6, 6, 8, 64 of them. Is that what Paul uses for the Dorso oil?
Yeah.
That's right. Well, a lot of people use it for that.
And you can use them again and again. You know.
Yeah.
So I've got I always use a new one when I come, so you see. But for example, one that I've used earlier, like that. Next time I'm going in for a blue, I won't take a new one at home. I'll just pick that one.
Just go for that. Yeah.
And the other thing is, when the ink is wet on here, sometimes if you're using smaller stamps, I actually use it as the ink pad.
I get you.
A beautiful printed effect.
By the way, 10% of the dandelion bundle has gone. It's the brand new item today. We're very proud to offer you that. It's a moment I know lots have been waiting for, and you're saving £6, of course. So it's a 3-way overlay stamp, the die, and the stencil collection there. So. Great stuff.
So what I'm doing now is so that the ink doesn't get blistery, let's talk about blistery. What I'm doing now is I'm just spreading out the ink. You know, of course, if I put yellow into a blue, it's going to go green, isn't it? So now I'm blending the colours in. You can see how I'm painting with the ink pad, and I'm loading up colour to see where I'm going to go. Now, obviously, the more yellow, the lighter it's going to be. If I want to add a bit more blue, I can go directly with my spot-on sponge. Like that, and
it's not about rushing this bit, is it? It's about just enjoying every moment, stamping mindfully.
This is the arty end of stamping.
Yeah.
And I can't. I mean, I've been doing this for 30 years. I got into this for a reason, and I really just love doing this. And if you want to add a different colour, now's your opportunity. But because all we're doing is using these little quarters of card, you learn as you go. So now you think, right, so do I want to, let's try this one with, not inside there, I'll show you. Let's just do this one like this.
Yeah.
Right? So I think it's well worth seeing, if we see the process, how this works. This is stamp number 2 now.
Yeah.
So it works on its own. I'm giving it a bit of pressure. Okay.
I love
Burnish the back.
Detail.
It's an art form.
Because I've rushed this bit and you regret it. You just
you?
enjoy every moment. Barbara, that's
So anybody
stunning.
that thinks that stamping is for novices, stamping is an art form.
Oh, yeah.
You know, in the art world, they call them printing plates. They call them block print plates.
Yeah.
These are stamps. These are just very sophisticated, very beautiful block printing plates.
Yeah,
I do a printing press classes in Brighton. I go to a really lovely little class, and I learn with the big printing presses.
Right, yeah.
And really, what we're doing is we're hand cutting our stamps. Well, at Clarity, we don't hand cut them; we just hand draw them.
Yeah.
You know, so we get this fantastic artwork.
Beautiful art.
So check that out. So now we've got that one. Let me just, for the sake of argument, let's take this again. Let's add a little bit more blue so you can see it again. Let's just add a little tiny bit more of this blue. I might even add a bit of blue sketch just to give a bit more contrast. Okay, just different colours. There you go. Okay, that'll do. You can always add it, but it's not so easy to take it away. Right, so we've done that one. Now let's take this one again. Let's pop that in there and see if we can line it
If
up.
you've got a stamping platform, then happy
Easy.
days.
Yeah, exactly.
You can build it up gradually, can't you?
So forgive my head here, but what I'm doing is I'm hovering like this, and now I'm going to focus on a couple of registrations. So I'm going to look at the top and the bottom, and then as I come down, I'll see, right, that stalk there fits, that stalk there fits. I reckon that's going to be about right. And if it's not,
That looks bang on.
then what I would say is,
It's hard.
never perfect, but always original,
This
Charlie.
is. Oh, I'm going to keep that one.
There you go.
I'll be using that daily, I think.
And again, we gently burnish the back,
I like
just to
this
make sure that we
yeah.
get contact. Yeah, just use our knuckles like that. That way you don't have to press too hard. Then when we take that off, look, isn't that lovely?
Good, yeah.
Hey? So you see now, it's great, isn't it?
That's beautiful.
And if you miss a bit, it didn't miss a bit, it's called art. And if you want to add it, that's what pencils are for.
By the way, we have lost part of the bundle if you're looking for the dandelion. So if you've got this, very well done. So if you are a stamper and you've got that in your basket, do check out because it has sold out as an individual.
What has?
The stamps individually as an
Okay.
individual. So there you go. So 973231. You can tell from the tone of my voice, I'm just simply not surprised when you got art like that and prices like this. You know, it's going to be a winner. Everything about Clarity is just done so thoroughly. I love the demonstrations there. It's
We
just
live it, we
so
eat it, we
methodical.
breathe it. This is what we do because
Yeah.
we're makers as well.
Yeah,
so
of
we're
course.
not just arty.